Hello and welcome back to Jackknives Reviews. I'm of course your host, Jackknives. And would you look at the time? It's A24 time. Let's take a look at the psychological drama, The Drama. Charlie, a British museum director, falls in love with Emma, a literary editor. After 2 years of dating, they are set to be married within a week. But seemingly out of nowhere, cracks start forming in the relationship, centered all around Emma's horrific past, changing how Charlie sees her and this whole commitment. The last movie Christopher Bergoli made was Dream Scenario, which I reviewed previously, and the shortened version of my issues with it were it felt like the whole concept of the dream was really never explored proper, and it focused too much on just everyone's reaction to Nicolas Cage rather than actually seeing too much of Nicolas Cage doing these horrific things that would cause people to be scared. And it never really fully utilized the whole dream sequences as far as the fantasticalness of them. Maybe it was budgetary reasons, but it just felt lackluster. And I know a lot of people did enjoy it, but I couldn't get attached to it. But the big issue with this movie is far, far, far worse. The performances by Robert Pattinson and Zendaya, respectively, actually do work really well. They have a lot of range, so their ability to show a tangible relationship with an awkward, nerdy guy, played by Pattinson, and Zendaya being this kind of snarky, no-nonsense kind of girl, did feel like a genuine relationship, and it did play to each other's strengths. The problem is the twist of the movie. Now, I make a rule of thumb on this channel not to spoil things unless it is so egregious that it ruins the experience of the movie, or it just feels like it's not worth your time. This movie has a twist that is so cold, callous, and disgusting that it is basically just shock value for the sake of shock value. And then later in the movie, it's kind of played up for laughs. I mean, not necessarily played up for laughs, but it's kind of like a kind of thing. And I'm like, really? This isn't a funny topic. This isn't like a topic that you can just glance over. So I'm going to spoil the twist of the movie. The twist of the movie is that Zendaya's character in high school had orchestrated, videotaped, planned out, mapped out, and expected to do a school shooting. And the only reason she didn't execute it was because another person did a shooting at the same location first. Robert Pattinson's character was basically just trying throughout the entire movie to come to terms with her wanting to do that. Because I want to make this also clear, she did not stop herself or have second thoughts or think about not doing it. Because again, throughout the movie, they explain, no, she was gonna do it. She orchestrated the whole thing. And yet she only stopped because someone else beat her to it. What makes it even worse is you find out later in the movie that the maid of honor's cousin was paralyzed at the very school shooting that happened. So she has no problem seeing the actual effects of a person who was a victim of the school shooting. And her whole excuse is essentially like, oh, I was going through some tough stuff and I hated the place I was in. Things like basic cursory glances of what it actually was to go through those situations. And what really, really irked me and upset me, but it also used the concept of a mass shooting for shock value's sake. As a person who was deeply affected by the Route 66 shooting, I can safely say that it is not a subject that you can just use as a plot fodder. That's why this movie is so terrible, because it could have been anything. It is what I refer to as an insert problem. An insert problem is in storytelling where you want to create this creepy, weird dynamic of a character, and then there's a shocking revealed secret that is revealed halfway through that changes the dynamic of who the character is. But a mass shooting, in the same way that killing children, is not a subject that you can just cursory glance over and make into a insert problem. That is a heavy, heavy, heavy topic, which this movie does not have the balls, nor the script, nor the actual decency to address properly. Now, a lot of people are probably thinking, well, I think you might be overthinking it. Well, I think you might be overplaying it, or you might be maybe just, it's not that big a deal. But it is. And it is a thing that happens so frequently in America that it's basically numbed its civilization to the point where, like, oh, okay, I guess another one happened. And that just shows how numb we as a society have become. But to use the subject of a shooting as just a plot device, which is what it is so egregiously bad. And I wish someone had the foresight to just tell Christopher, no, this is not a thing we should agree on. And I understand a part of A24 is the ability to expand independent filmmaking and to show off different ideas and to, utilize that ability to make different storytelling than would be in the basic mainstream. But this is just disgusting. It's disgusting because it is used in a callous way. It is used in a way to just move the plot forward. And at the end has a schmaltzy, oh, it's all good ending. I cannot in any way, shape, or form recommend this movie. It is gross. It is bad. It is wrong. It is not a movie that I was necessarily horrified by. I was disgusted because of how egregiously bad, lazy, and just callous it was to use that plot subject as a narrative device. And for that reason, I hope people who unfortunately have seen this movie spread the word about how bad this movie actually is. I give the drama. Have you seen the drama? Let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to stab that subscribe button and slice that like button, and I'll see you next time.